Hey, what's up guys, it's Unleashed here today, and that's right, you've read the title correctly. A Sonic Adventure Remaster may be in the works, but not in the way you think. Now before people start calling me up for clickbait here or something, you're going to need to know the difference between remaster and remake, because remaster and remake are two different concepts, alright? So before you start calling me up for clickbait, this is not clickbait, okay? Remasters and remakes are two different things, alright? You understand that now? Okay, so without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a look at the news at hand. Onto Twitter, we Sonic Rush. So today's bit of news source will be the legendary Speeps Highway thread. Today, I was given the full version of the Tails flashback image from Sonic Frontiers. And for those of you who don't remember or just didn't even know, in Sonic Frontiers, in one cutscene on Chaos Island, there's a flashback cutscene with Tails that shows an image from Sonic Adventure. So I believe Sega may have a remaster of Sonic Adventure DX in development. Take it with a grain of salt though. There's a lot of images and I'm not tagging them all, so minor spoiler for Island 3. To start, here's the uncropped image and what it looks like with my attempt to remove the filter. When it was cropped in game, you couldn't see much, so I assumed it was just an edited DX screenshot. Here's also a DX image and a modded one to compare. Right, so first image right here, this is from the cutscene in Frontiers obviously. Got the, what's that, paper ripped on the outlines or something like that. Then you got the sepia effect on it, then got some sort of liney things on it to make it look like a flashback or something like that. But yeah, this is the image that was in Frontiers. Now the next image right here, now this was Speep's attempt at trying to remove the filter off the Frontiers image, so that's why this looks basically the same. Next image right here, this is from Sonic Adventure DX now, so this is what DX looks like. Got the nasty looking textures for the character model there, and yeah, the horrible lighting here. Then the final image right here, now this is a modded version of the Sonic Adventure DX with the Dreamcast textures right here, so you can see right there. The pavement looks a lot better now. Got the, you can see the Twinkle Park tube there. Actually got the proper, what's it called, glass there I think. And then yeah, basically a lot better lighting here essentially. So yeah, while there aren't some massive differences between these images right here, there are some minor details here which in reality make a lot of difference. The first thing I noticed was that the ground textures are undeniably the ones from the Dreamcast version, since DX's pavement doesn't line up at all. It led me to believe Dreamcast conversion was used, and that is the mod for the DX version by the way. So we have some comparison images right here. So the first one, that's from the Frontiers flashback obviously, has the floor textures from the Dreamcast version as seen in the last image right there. That's the Dreamcast version in the last image. Obviously the middle one, that's the DX version, and yeah, those pavements don't line up at all. That is just horrible, man. Horrible. People with OCD are not going to like that at all. The arches on the Twinkle Park path are darker. You can see the one behind clearly as well, which is kind of hard to see on Dreamcast from this angle since it's usually covered up well. And here we have some more comparison images right here, so obviously on the left once again, that's Frontiers flashback, so you can see the thing that I was talking about earlier, the tubes on the Twinkle Park thing, those are actually visible, like the DX version, you can see the arrows pointing right there. And then obviously on the underside for the Twinkle Park tube on the Frontiers flashback, that's from the Dreamcast version. So what it's looking like to me is that they're taking the best parts of both versions and combining it into the ultimate remaster for Sonic Adventure, which guess is a pretty good move to make, I suppose. Because Sonic Adventure DX wasn't all bad. It definitely has something superior to the original Dreamcast version, but obviously DC version also has some better things than DX, so combine the two, getting the best parts of both worlds. That's pretty good, I think. The missile seems to have writing on it. I know the image is screwed up from upscaling, but I don't think it's the same as the garbage on Tails' hand. The reflections on the base are the DX ones, where the logo's outline is more visible like DC. And here is some more comparison images, so obviously on the left once again. That's the Frontiers flashback, and yeah, I can see very slightly some text beside the Eggman logo there. I can't quite make out what it's supposed to be saying, but definitely something right there. Then obviously the Eggman logo on the Frontiers flashback is more outlined like the DC version compared to DX, and then the base of the rocket, that's more similar to the DX version, more shiny compared to the DC version, so yeah. Now here's a comparison with the traffic light, and yeah, on that silver part next to the traffic light, you can very slightly see that the DX shine is there. Obviously you can see in the middle there, that's the DX version once again. And then on the bottom right, that I think that's another traffic light, yeah. You can see very slightly, there's a space between the gold traffic light part and then the pole. So you can see the middle once again, look in the same place for the DX. There's no gap there, but then look on the right image with the DC version, you can see very slightly a gap there. That's not in the DX version, but it's in the Frontiers flashback image. The lighting is different throughout, namely the ground is much lighter like DX, and the Twinkle Park tubes aren't shaded like any version. I think most people put this and Tails' model down to editing though, so I didn't bring it up there. And so what do you think? Keep in mind that Sonic Adventure 1's 25th anniversary is next year. Am I just hallucinating because I can't pinpoint the exact version version myself, or does this hold ground? Now, somebody replied to Speep's Highway that made a very interesting observation. Right here, Nova Rain ST, you missed something. They fixed Tails' Tails textures, so the white part is more pointy. Now, I didn't notice this at first until they mentioned it, but if you look in the Frontiers flashback image, look at Tails' tail on the bottom. You can see that's a bit more pointy, the white part specifically. That's a lot more pointy. But then compare that with the DX version. Look, they're both different slightly there. The Frontiers flashback is a lot more pointy. Now, if you look at the DC version isn't like the Frontiers flashback version, so that is a very interesting observation. This different there for some reason. Now, I don't know if that means that the DC version was broken before, and then they fixed it for the Frontiers flashback scene, which is potentially a remaster of Sonic Adventure. No idea, man, but whichever it is, that is still another observation that they have changed things for his flashback image for Frontiers. Right, that is it for all the tweets, so now it's time for the discussion here. So I think we'll start off by trying to debunk all this then. So, yeah. It's not really confirmed at this point that a Sonic Adventure Remaster is coming. More so, there's some slight hints towards that actually being the case. Obviously, like all the differences we pointed out right now. Now, like I said earlier, it seemed like they were trying to take all the best parts of each version, then put them all in together to make the best possible version of the game. But then, you could also say that the reason all that was done is because this was just a mock-up image for the game. I mean, you see things like this all the time, with art and stuff like that, people planning for things. They just take like the different parts of things and just chuck it all together into a mock-up image because obviously it's a mock-up image, not really representative of the final product. So that could be the case here where they just chuck different things together just for the Frontiers thing. But apart from that bit of debunking there, I don't really have anything else really. I mean, we know how much people have been begging for a Sonic Adventure remix, so it is Sega after all, and they do have to cheap out on a couple of things here and there. So maybe instead of giving us some proper adventure remakes like we all wanted, they're gonna cheap out and give us the best versions of the Sonic Adventure original version by remastering it. I don't know, that seems like a sort of Sega thing to do, not gonna lie. And then my bit of evidence actually supports this too, is that we have another flashback image in the game, which is the one from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And the thing about that one was that it wasn't from the original game at all too. It's most likely from Origins because it was widescreen. And now I'm not going to say that they made Origins just have a flashback cutscene in Frontiers, but maybe they did. Maybe they did. They could have just made Origins have some sort of flashback cutscene in Frontiers because they didn't want to use like a 4x3 image in a Frontiers cutscene because that look a bit weird. And then same thing with the Adventure Flashback 2, making a new fully remastered thing just to have it in the Frontiers cutscene. I don't know, that does seem a bit extreme though, not gonna lie. Like, why would they make a whole entire new game, well, remaster anyways, just have it in a Frontiers cutscene? That seems a bit far-fetched, but at the same time, it seems a bit likely, I don't know. Just to me anyways. Now, in terms of when this remaster for Adventure could release, now, like Speep said, Sonic Adventure's 25th anniversary is next year, 2023, so maybe they could release it next year, maybe. But then at the same time, we also have the updates for Frontiers, update 1, 2, and 3, but then there's also that possible 2D Model Sonic game, so maybe they could release it in 2024 because of Movie 3, then you can bundle it with some sort of Sonic Adventure 2 remaster, then advertise that alongside the movie, say that, oh look, you weren't shouted in the movie, but we got shouted in this Sonic Adventure 2 Remaster 2, bundle it with Sonic Adventure 1, and then call that the 2024 game or something. I don't know. Because if that 2D Model Sonic game is real and that comes out next year, then what was Sega put out in 2024? Because they're going to want to have something alongside the movie, right? I mean, they wanted to do that with Colors Ultimate alongside Movie 1, but obviously that got delayed. And then for Movie 2, we pretty much had Origins release alongside it, but obviously that came out in June, a couple of months later. Then, obviously, those have all been remasters of old titles, so maybe for Movie 3, they have an SA1 and SA2 remaster ready to go. I mean, that would make a lot of sense, right? I mean, maybe even bundle that in with Heroes 2. Just saying, because you would have Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles playable in one team. Then they can introduce even some more characters, because we have that Knuckles TV show coming out next year. We don't know who that could introduce. Maybe some Rouge or the Team Chaotic, something like that. Then obviously have that in Heroes. Chuck that in front of the Movie 3. Advertise that. Get a bunch of sales, man. So yeah, I think the Sonic Adventure Remaster is pretty likely. I mean, it seems like something Sega would do, cheap on a remake to make another remaster. That seems like a Sega thing to do, right? And then have it alongside Movie 3 in 2024. That could be something that could happen. Anyways, that about does it for today's video. So yes, there's a possible Sonic Adventure remaster, not remake, in development right now. And whether it'll actually be real or not, well, we'll have to wait either a short amount of time or a long time to see if that actually happens. So yeah, what do you guys think of this news? Do you think this remaster will actually come to fruition or not? Let me know down below. Love to see what you guys have to say. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one. Don't forget to become unleashed by hitting that join button down below. Remember, it's not necessary. And I'll see you all next time. Peace!